What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be a full channel update, so there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm not going to be out here very long in the heat because it's really hot. It's like 90 degrees or something like that out today. But I want to cover some stuff real quick before I go inside the garage and get set up to finish this video. As you can tell behind me, the sport track's out of the garage. At the end of the Caffeine and Octane video, this thing was parked inside. So we finally got it out of the garage to make room for the van because it's back. But I don't know how long it'll be here. But it's finally back home. This is my mom's 2011 Grand Caravan. A lot of you guys know it was the subject of a few videos before we left to go to Florida. 2 weeks ago, actually, 3 weeks ago. It was when I went down with Hayden. So this had been taken to a Dodge dealership to be worked on, and they goofed it. They goofed it bad. Basically what happened is the trunk is broken on this car. It doesn't open very far. It's misaligned. My mom hit a pothole and it just jammed the trunk over. Basically what happened, she took it to the dealership, was like, hey, can you guys check over this, give me a quote on how much it would cost to fix, because I want my trunk back. Because how we've done it is we've loaded groceries into the cab, as you can see kind of in here, or cabin I should say. It's not really a cab because it's not a truck. But then we load them in through the door and then sweep them into the trunk, and then we put the seats down and take them out when we get home, or we just put them in here when no one else is riding in the car. So that's kind of how we've made do with that. The van also has a couple of underlying issues. For example, the airbag light's on, and she took it into the dealership for the recall. That's why she was there. And the airbag light's still on even after they replaced it, so I don't even know if they properly fixed it. One of the tire sensors is bad. So the airbag light, kind of a problem. That probably means her airbag isn't working, and she gets involved into a wreck in this thing, and she's probably not going to be happy about it, because she's probably going to have a steering wheel mark on her body somewhere, which would not be good, or suffer damage to the brain or something like that from hitting her head on the steering wheel. Basically, the Dodge dealership didn't really do a good job of fixing this thing, for one thing, but they also broke it even more. And I mentioned in the video where my mom had the loaner, which was the 2018 Pacifica that was here for like 3 weeks almost, because it took them that long to get started on it. They broke the wing off. Basically how they did it is under here there were some tabs. Yeah, you can see them. They're actually attached on this one. It's a brand new wing. But they didn't attach it. These tabs were broken. And what happened is when they opened the trunk up, they jammed it open all the way, which broke the back clips on this wing, which basically detached it. And instead of trying to repin it and or tapping a hole and bolting it down or what have you, they decided just to put it on. They just set it on top of the car. Oh, nothing will happen. So she picks the car up and drives off. Within 10 minutes, it flies off the back of the van into the middle of a state highway. Keep in mind, a 4-lane, 55-mile-an-hour zone. And right in front of a car. It could have caused an accident, but it didn't, thankfully. But it did get ran over and destroyed, the first wing this car had. So my mom had to run out and lunch hour traffic on this 55-mile-an-hour zone, 4-lane state highway, to pick a wing up off the road. And my mom was furious. So she takes it back to the Dodge dealership, walks in the door. Remember when this was attached? And holds the wing up. And they're like, okay, we don't know how this is gonna go. Like being very somber, like trying to say her car is basically screwed. But that wasn't the case. It was fine. Sat for 3 weeks on their yard without anyone doing anything to it until the day that Michael revealed the Charger to us. My dad went to the Dodge dealership because there was supposed to be a Ford show that day. So he went to the Dodge dealership to go over there, then go to the Ford dealer for the show. That didn't happen. And they were still sitting there wingless. And they hadn't even ordered the new wing. So they ordered the new wing, got it painted somehow, got it on the car. It's fitted good. It made it all the way down to Florida and back without flying off. And that's where we are now. So absolute mess of a situation with that car. But I'm glad it's back. You know, it's got some more features than the Pacifica, but some of them don't work. For example, the rear AC kind of failed on the way down to Florida. So I was sitting in the back, was just melting due to the heat in Florida with no AC. The front AC worked. It was fine. My parents were comfortable, but poor little me in the back was on fire. And of course, like I said, the lights. We don't know what's wrong with those. We do know we had to rewire the starter to the heated seats it doesn't have, because it's the street side, I think it's called. trim level, which doesn't have heated rear seats. So we wired it in through that and the computer, so that's how it starts. It used to, like, the thing wouldn't even turn over for a little while because of what happened with that, and Dodge has not released a recall on that. So, and I probably wouldn't even trust it at this point after how they manage the airbag. But that's basically that. We don't know what's happening in this car. I've got my suspicions our parents are working on something that I don't know about. So that's kind of that, the conclusion on the van. So we're done with the Dodge. We're gonna move to the Ford outside and cover it a little bit. So as you guys know, we're back in Florida, which means I get to work on basically what's next. And I mentioned in the video from the condo room in Panama City where I was talking about what parts I want to buy next for this thing. I'm gonna get a list diagrammed out for me to try to figure out what I need to cover, what bases I need to cover this week, this summer, because I'm hopefully gonna have a job by next week. But if not, I'll be searching for a job. So I'm kind of screwed right now because I don't know exactly how it's gonna go. Because I'm gonna go work with my uncle who runs a gutter business, because that'll pay more than enough than I need. But the problem is I'm not certain he's actually gonna hire me. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm probably gonna try to talk to him this week, see how things go with that. If he doesn't want to hire me on, I'll just, you know, start to search some places else. I've had my eyes on working at a car dealership of some sort, doing like detail work for them, just detailing the cars out and, you know, having them cleaned up to be sold. Because I like to wash cars. I mean, it gives me experience to put around them in the parking lot and clean them up and try to make them as shiny as possible. And if it were my job, I'd do a lot better than I do here. A lot of the time here, I don't wax it. I don't clean the windows every time. If I worked at a dealership, I'd wax it and all that junk and make it as clean as possible. So that's another idea I have. I mean, there's also working at grocery stores and stuff like that, which is, you know, it'll get money, but it's just, I want to do something I kind of enjoy. So it's not a bad first job, but it's not really what I want to do. So that's basically that. And hopefully by August, we'll have this thing pretty much ready to go in the shop for engine work. Basically just a synopsis of what we're doing. We're pulling the engine out, gonna get the block redone. It's got 224,000 miles at this time. So I'd imagine it's going to need a little bit of work to clean it up a little bit. That engine's probably going to need to be bored out just a little bit. I'm not going to go to like a 4.3 stroke or anything, but I'm going to get it done, you know, good, where everything is just cleaned up and can work. So maybe a 4.1 liter V6, which would be huge, but you know what I mean. It's going to be a little bit of work to get this thing cleaned up. Of course, we're going to be putting on Super 6 Motorsports heads, ARP head studs, and Super 6 cams to go ahead and get it at that shop and have it basically boost ready. Because I do want to supercharge it. I've said in multiple videos I want to supercharge this truck. But I need to have it ready to be boosted first. And my friends are like, just blow up your current motor. But I would rather have it running, put it in the shop, and let it come out running than have it blown up sitting in this driveway for months. And then when I do have the money, take it to the shop then. I'd rather be able to drive it. So that's basically my process right now. Instead of just going out and blowing all my money in a supercharger kit, blowing up the truck, and then taking it to the shop after the fact, and then having to pay to get the supercharger transferred over, that'd be a mess. I'd rather just get my engine out of the shop and then boost it. So be easier, more cost effective, instead of having to pay to get an engine pulled after the fact. It's when I've had to get the boosted on it and junk. Basically, I'm just gonna wait until September-ish, put it in the shop, get a new engine put in, and it'll be ready to be boosted. I don't know how long it'll take to get boost, because right now Modbox is doing a 20% off, but I'm also waiting to see if my friend Josh over on Light Parts Pro wants to work with me on this M112 kit that we've been talking about for a few months. So we'll have to see how that goes, but that's kind of that with that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move inside, and we're talking about YouTube stuff. More stuff than just the channel itself versus talking about the cars in this channel. I guess since I've brought up cars, updating the Mustang, that's fine. Nothing's really changed about it since the way I last left it. Father's Day's coming up, so I think I'm gonna buy him some parts. I haven't really decided yet, because I know he watches my videos, so I'm not gonna tell you guys when I wanna buy him, because then he'll know, because he watches the videos, like I just said. So, not gonna tell you guys what I have in mind, because like I said, my dad watches my videos. I've said that 3 times now. But yeah, so we're gonna get into YouTube stuff. So I'm gonna set this down right somewhere in this toolbox, because toolbox is always a good place to set stuff down. If I could find somewhere to put it. I think we're gonna try that. Perfect. All right, so just an update on the YouTube channel itself. Not truck. That's not really an update on the YouTube channel. But basically the channel itself is doing great. We've gotten tons of subscribers recently. I can't thank you guys enough for that, for all the support, especially in the last Caffeine and Octane video. That video did really good. It got like 60 views, not even within 24 hours. So that video did great. And I really can't thank you guys enough for that. It's one of the fastest growing Caravan and Octane vlogs I've had. 15, I think, holds the record for being the fastest one, because I think that one hit 100 views in like a day and a half. So pretty fast growing videos. This one though is doing, it's up there, that's for sure. 67 views the last time I checked it, which I'm filming this around 2 o'clock on Monday. So that's kind of that. Thank you guys again for getting that video up. We also hit 91,000 views on YouTube recently, just total channel views. So that's amazing. It's a huge accomplishment. So, you know, 9,000 more views to go. We had 100,000 total channel views. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably think, he's got 100,000 channel views and he's only got 300 subscribers. What the heck's wrong with this kid? But, you know, I don't look at like subscribers as a number count. You know, it's like, I don't look at you guys as numbers. I look at you guys as people. I like to communicate with subscribers and stuff like that. You know, that's why whenever I get comments on my videos, I'm usually very fast to respond. One, because I don't have a life. But two, because I like to make sure my subscribers are taken care of. I like being able to tell you guys, you know, respond to your questions and stuff like that. Talk to you guys and stuff like that. You know, I've got multiple subscribers that follow me on Instagram that message me from time to time, and I love that. You know, I hope I don't put off the like the vibe of you guys bothering me by doing that, because y'all don't. I appreciate talking to my subscribers. It's something I really enjoy doing on my off time, is getting messages about like, hey, thanks for the videos, blah, 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 stuff like that. It makes me happy. And seeing, and all the Sport Track guys that subscribe to this and follow me on Instagram, like I know there's a couple, I can't take the name off the top of my head right now, but messages me and shows me progress he's done in his truck. And I like seeing that stuff. I mean, that's awesome. I like seeing what you guys do with your own builds too, just like my own. So that's basically that. So 9,000 more channel views, and we'll be at 100,000 total views on the channel, which is amazing. It's just cool. It's just cool. And hopefully we'll be hitting 400 subscribers, hopefully by the middle of the year. I sure hope, at least. I don't know how well that's going to work out, but we can try. This is where I want to be. I want to be at close to 500 subs by the end of the year. So we just got to, I just got to put out some banger videos. Make sure you guys enjoy them, stuff that you guys are, you know, big fans of, you know, whatever. And we can probably hit that target pretty good. So, so some video ideas. So I've been thinking in my head the last week or so. A lot of you guys may remember I used to do a weekly recap series. I cut it off after I left YouTube for a little while last August. Because the whole, the first apocalypse hit, and basically 80% of my videos were demonetized during that time period, which was a huge blow to the channel for me. Because this was back when monetization for YouTubers under 1,000 subscribers was a thing, and I made $40 though, so it wasn't like I made a lot of money off of YouTube. It's still almost a tank of gas, so a free tank of gas is no problem to me. I cut the weekly recap off. It was one of several series I ended when I came back, one of them being Project Explorer, and the other being the gaming videos, which included stuff like Horizon Tour, the Pokemon series I did years ago, which were already basically dead by the time that this had come about. And of course the weekly recap. The weekly recap I mainly closed down. It wasn't as much for I wanted to adapt to the schedule I have now. It was as much as I didn't want to be looking, I don't want to look as a copycat, because several YouTubers such as That Dude in Blue does a weekly update kind of thing. Well, used to at least, which was the weekly show that he did. Matt Moran does something very similar with his weekly update where he goes through news stories and all that stuff. But I want to go back into doing weekly recaps, which will be uploaded on Saturdays or Fridays. I haven't entirely decided yet whether they'll be taking over the Saturday videos or not. Because I've really stopped covering meets, like the local meets. And it's not that I hate the guys that run the meets. It's more that I don't walk around very much at the meets anymore because I have so many friends. Back when I first started going to events like Boosted Mafia, it was just me and Michael. And me and him would just walk around and just check out all the builds and stuff. Michael would talk some crap because that's what Michael does. And he knows it. I know he's watching this. It's just his sense of humor. He likes to be funny. I don't have a problem with it, but that was how it was back in the day. Me and Michael would be the only people. We'd just walk around, enjoy ourselves in the meet. Now I have so many friends that come to the car meets with me, and we just sit around and chat. We don't go around and look at cars anymore. And that's right, stuff like Caffeine and Octane or Import Alliance. So that was stuff like that. That's why I haven't really covered Boosted Mafia that much. It's not as much as I don't hate the guys at all. They're great people. They're really cool people to talk to. All of them are. But it's basically, you know, having all my new friends around now. I hardly have time. I hardly walk. I usually spend a lot of time talking to people near our cars with like everybody. So that's that. And the gaming streams, you guys seem to kind of enjoy that. They get a lot of views whenever I do them, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I haven't really decided on what games I want to do. I'm waiting on my new furniture still. That's why I haven't done one lately, except for Rocket League. Because any other game I want to use my wheel setup to film or to stream with, but it's not on my desk anymore. I tore it down because I was supposed to get a new desk about 3 weeks ago, but we just never got around to it. So the wheel setup's just been in the floor because I didn't want to set it back up, and then when my new stuff gets here, I have to take it back down. So I'd rather just leave it taken down. You know, when my new desk gets here, I can set it back up. I'd be good to go. So that's why I've done only Rocket League streams, and I continue to do gaming streams because I had fun with those. You guys seem to enjoy them, which is awesome. Those usually are the streams I get the most viewership on, like except for the last Caffeine Octane pre-show podcast. I did really good. It sucked because we didn't have everyone here. Me and Hayden did it over Skype. So, you know, Michael should be back in town Thursday though, so we'll definitely have him back for the next one, hopefully. Which will be the 8th pre-show podcast next month, the July show. So that's kind of that. And I think we're probably going to wind up adding Hayden on as a full-time host of the podcast, mainly because, you know, he likes being involved in it. He enjoys it. So why not let him be involved and do all that with us? And so now we'll have 4 hosts now, official hosts. It'll be on the pre-show podcast. Me, myself, Michael, Hayden, and Kaysen all do this together. It used to be just me, Michael, and Kaysen, and our friend Brandon would pop on for a couple of episodes, but I haven't heard from him much lately, so I can't really say he's an official host of the podcast. I just haven't heard from him. No one's heard from him lately. Hayden tried hanging out with him, and he just, apparently according to Hayden, he just was not having us, so we don't know what's going on with him. But that's kind of that. So that's just that. The podcast has a 4th host now. So that's kind of that. And I think that'll do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this really long update video. I know there was a lot of stuff to cover. It was rather long. I think this is probably a 15-minute video, just like the Caffeine and Octane video was. But I know it's long, but I had a lot of stuff to cover. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys again for all the support, all the views on the channel, the 90-something thousand views, 91,000. That means a lot. And let's shoot for 100,000 views by the end of the year. I think we can do it. Let's do it. I'm going to start posting out more videos and try to get that up because I'd really like to hit 100,000 views and be like, pow, you know, be that guy. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next video.